A shout out to our podcast sponsor, sportsponsorship.co.uk. If you or your business are interested in making a real difference to the Scottish game, supporting hundreds of kids into regular football, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk and they'll find the right fit for your brand.
Hello to everyone. Welcome to Tinpot. Wherever you're listening from, we appreciate you. Every single like, share, subscribe all makes a big difference to us. So get hammering away at those likes through the episode. Today we are joined by Matt.
Hey.
Matt, how you doing? How's it going?
I'm well. Yeah, as you can tell from Andrew's introduction, there's no Tom today.
No,
so
Tom.
we're, flying
no.
by the seat. Is it flying by the seat of your pants? Is that the saying?
Seat of your pants. That's the one. Yeah.
What does it mean?
That's it. I don't actually know, to be fair, but
that's what we're doing. We're winging it. We're hoping it records. Me and Andrew are Andrew's in charge today. So
I wouldn't really say that. It's a joint effort today, that's for sure. But
once we record them, once we deliver some of the best opinions and the best pieces of podcast content, we'll hit finish and realise that nothing ever saves. So
yeah,
and then Tom will be having a fit as he's in his bed with the man flu or whatever he's got.
Yeah, big time. He's suffering. So
he's suffering.
Lots going around at the moment, which is kind of expected. But yeah,
everyone in Hampden Park probably sick. Like, all the hugging and that.
Yeah, he probably gave it to everybody. So if you're not feeling very well after the Scotland game and you went along, it's Tom's fault.
Yeah, and you were within 5 rows of him or shared some of his twirl bites, you'll be in trouble.
Yeah, on the TV. I don't know if you guys discussed his TV appearance on the last podcast.
We never actually talked about that. Caught in the act, eh?
Claim to fame, eating his twirl bites. Looked like quite a crunchy one, so I wasn't really expecting the twirl bites. Looked like it had a bit of crunch to that famous bite, that famous televised bite. So
yeah, with a crunchy rock maybe, or a Malteser perhaps.
Well, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
Or a pocket pie.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. What I was thinking. How you doing anyway? How's your week been? Or weekend?
Yeah, it's been alright, mate. I was at the obligatory child's party. Seems to be a weekly event nowadays. This one was class. It was catered by Stevens, mate. Like, not directly,
money
but
bags.
Not the mother of the child who's having a party's brother-in-law or something like that works as like a baker at Stevens. So there was like loads of rolls and that. There was no like sausage rolls, but like loads of filled rolls. So you had your selection of filled rolls. So it was really good, soft, beautiful rolls with like Mexican chicken or egg meal, chicken meal, tuna, cheese, ham. So I was like just in my element. The only problem was they didn't have adults drinks, so I was eating all these rolls. Had to wash it down with a fruit shoot. So
you got to double down on the fruit shoot because they're so small. So
small, mate. So sweet, man. No wonder the kids are absolutely mental at drinking them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I had one. This is quite a boring story. I had one the other day to swallow my vitamins. So.
Which flavour was it?
Really sweet. The blackcurrant ones, yeah. But yeah, maybe should probably keep an eye on them. But
yeah, and I was up at 3 a.m. this morning taking the in-laws to the airport, so pretty tired.
No.
I know,
Jesus.
just spewing over the prices for the car park, part of the like the hour parking, because obviously I had to go in and like help them like with their bags and check in and stuff. So I was there for like 20 minutes and it cost me £14, mate. Absolutely sick.
That's ridiculous.
There.
Have you been to the drop off one as well? Like you're there for like 2 minutes and it charges you like £10 or something.
Scum. Never. And they charge you £2 to get a trolley. Like, so what? You're all old and fucking crowd disabled and you have to like get a trolley for your luggage, but no, you have to pay £2. Like, are you joking?
That's mental. That is mental.
Surely a trolley is like a human right, like in an airport.
Yeah, like. Yeah, was that like a £2 coin like situation? Like you get in like.
Well, no, I think you can scan the card now in every single event where you have to pay money.
So you wouldn't even get the coin back even if you were like.
I think you have to tap it.
God!
It gives you the trolley, unlocks it. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Like, if you're not able to carry your case, then
Man, take a
That's
backpack, you
mental.
fucking lazy bastards. Eh?
yeah.
That's
That's
Edinburgh
ridiculous.
Airport's thoughts on that. It's ridiculous. They did upgrade the Ryanair drop-off section, so there's like 15 like drop-off points now for your luggage.
That's
Where you
quite
wait
good.
yourself and get your boarding pass or your little thing for your suitcase. So the queue was
Mm.
like non-existent because there was so many stations now. So fair play. At least our money's going to upgrades within the airport rather than pockets of
Yeah.
the CEO. But probably is as well. He's probably a
Oh yeah,
multi-billionaire
probably.
now.
Yeah. He's getting rid of all the staff, so he's got more money in the old hip. So
It's just robots taking your
taking over, mate. Taking
AI,
over.
flying the plane and all that.
yeah.
What you've been doing, mate,
Man.
apart from being in England for the most amazing Scotland moment of
I
all
know.
time?
I know. Yeah, that
How
was.
was Scotland playing the other day? Yeah, they were, mate.
well, the Jocks playing. Um, yeah, it was very surreal actually, because like obviously I know you guys talked about it in tremendous detail, but just the pure elation that you have, but to have literally nobody around you that shares that like at all, it didn't even seem like it had happened. So it was really quite odd. But yeah, I literally got there, and then I think I had about 10 minutes until kickoff, so managed to get it on the telly after a lot of stress, and watch it because it was on BBC Scotland. So I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how the fuck do you cast this to TV? Like, having an
Yeah, to
absolute
watch
meltdown.
fucking Beech Grove Garden or someone on BBC One England or something like that, eh?
Beach Grove Garden, yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was a bit odd, but no, it was a good trip though. Went to
Good.
Winter Wonderland down there, which was pretty cool. Kid was way too young for it, so probably a massive waste of money. But
Did you
no, it was good
purchase
though. It
any
was pretty cool.
expensively priced snacks or whatnot?
The snacks, to be fair, were pretty reasonable, but there was a
Nice.
shop at the start, and the kid kept running in the shop and like trying to shoplift stuff. So I was like, fucking hell, I better just get her like a wee toy or something. So there's like this wee elf. It's like, I don't know, just about a wee bit bigger than the size of your hand, So I thought, just grab that. Worst case scenario would be a tenner or something. Stick it on. Fucking 22 quid. I was like, you kidding me on? So then I was like, I can't not pay it because she's going to have a massive meltdown. I've not even got in yet. So I had to swallow that. And then,
Where is it now?
I mean, that is going in like a glass case or something like that in the lounge
Yeah,
or
mate.
whatever. I don't know. But that's, the most expensive fucking toy I've bought for the size of it. But yeah, that was really that. But no, it was really nice. It was really well put together. Pretty cool place. But yeah, glad to be back on home soil, that's for sure.
Oh man, we've
Definitely.
been shafted this week then, that's for sure, by big airport and big Christmas market.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I know,
These things
the
are you have
pockets
to
are
do,
feeling it.
like, you know what I mean? You have
I
to
know.
park within a reasonable walking distance for elderly people at the airport, and you have to buy your child a toy when they see it in a shop, so it's just like, they
That's
know
it.
what it's going to get us, eh? They get us every time.
The shit responsibilities of being an adult, I guess. But anywho, today's format's pretty flexible because obviously we've not got the old
Gaffer.
Führer in. But
Get well soon.
get well soon, mate. Get well soon. Quick scan over the main headline for Scottish football today, just to keep abreast of the news. Then we're going to move on to our main topic, which is about managerial vacancies, or maybe impending managerial vacancies in both the Championship and the Prem. And then we'll wrap up with a wee quiz for Matthew, a wee Championship special, so it will
Wow.
be. So
Quizzy has become the quiz master, and Andrew, isn't he? He's
that's it.
taking over the
No,
mantle.
exactly. Don't like the shoe being on the
How
other
many
foot.
goals
It's
has
actually...
Lewis Vaughan scored for Rovers? 1,000, apparently, according to
Yeah, it's
AI.
just a quiz dedicated to Neil McCann.
Neil McCann.
Should have
Neil
done
McCann's
that.
looking ripped on the TV, like, man, that boy's still working out.
He
like,
is, yeah, he is.
looking good, mate. You get back in the game, it'll add to his goal tally, like.
I think so. Yeah, I think he could still do a job. Certainly after the weekend, anyway. I think he could probably do us a job. But But yeah, before we move on to our headlines, I suppose, be sure to give us a wee like if you're watching or listening. It takes a fraction of a second, but it'll make our bloody day, won't it? So go and do that if you're listening on Spotify or any of the other fancy apps.
Yeah, wherever you get your
YouTube
podcast.
session. That's it. Yep. That's the one. But yeah, on to today's headline. Kevin Thelwell and Patrick Stewart were sacked today. Obviously, I mean, you could say it was maybe coming. But do you think it will really make much of a difference that now they're away? Because I mean, ultimately, they were employed by the same people, weren't they? So how do they go about maybe making that a bit easier for them?
Bloody damage is already done, no?
I think so.
You sign a manager, you sack a manager, you sign all these players that are a bit questionable, and then you sack the guys who brought them in. It's a bit of a shambles, eh?
It is, yeah.
I suppose it's better to get it done now than down the line, so at least you can maybe have someone in January to oversee a new transfer policy. But when you already spent 30 million, I mean, their funds aren't going to be endless, so there's going to be some smart business in the transfer market. I think it's a good thing for Rangers. I don't think it worked out, especially with Thelwell. I think he was... It didn't work. And I think the best thing to do is to cut ties and to have a fresh slate with a new manager in. He's got a bit of positivity behind him in terms of results anyway. So better to get that done now rather than, the same sort of cycle of abuse that's been happening for Thelwell and Stewart. Let's just get a new guys in and go from there. I mean, the season's looking upwards, that's for sure anyway, I think. So
yeah, definitely.
Bit of momentum.
I think Rangers are, the most informed team in the league at the moment over the last sort of 5-6 games or whatever it is. But I don't disagree with getting rid of them at all. I just wonder if, taking it outside of Rangers, do you think that, this is maybe going to start a little bit of a trend where, boards or hierarchy are then going to cave to fan pressure? Because obviously across the other side of the city, there's a hell of a lot of pressure going on there. And I suppose, there will be for other teams as the season goes on as well. And, some of that will come to with the managerial vacancies. But do you think that maybe starts a bit of a trend? Fans say we don't like it, board listens, reacts.
I know we've talked about this before in terms of fan pressure. I don't know. I mean, you could say all you want about the fans having their say, but clearly the in Thelwell's case and Paul Stewart, they were clearly failed in their sort of main duties as director of football and whatever he was, chairman or whatever he was. What was Patrick Stewart apart from?
He was CEO, yeah.
CEO. I mean, Thelwell's presided over what was a shambolic start to the season and what has been a pretty disappointing transfer window. So, what's the point in giving this guy January with his idiot son in there as well, like to just make some more signings from England,
Yeah.
So
I think he's still there actually, which is quite interesting. So
just being saying, Daddy, what's happening? Daddy? Am I still employed, Daddy?
He'll be fucking shitting himself. I think he was at Norwich or something like that. So he'd be like, "Fucking Dad's dropped me right in it now." So
it's like, who you on the phone to? I don't know. I'm just talking to someone about getting signings in. It's not my dad. Okay, we'll sign this guy and this guy. All right, cool, dude, bye.
8 million for Chimay. Oh god.
I can't reveal my sources, but I've heard that this guy is really good. Who do you play for? I used to play for Everton, funnily enough.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I think the only good thing from a Rangers fan's perspective is Kevin Thelwell gets another job, then they might buy Chimay again because he seems to be in a habit of that. He's done it twice, so.
But he's gone down in values, every time he's sold, so he'll maybe get a couple of mil for it, like.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'll probably take that at the moment, but yeah, it's
Rangers in the title race, Andrew. What do you reckon about that?
Well, I mean, obviously Hearts have had a couple of sort of drop points there. It looks like Celtic are on the cusp of announcing Wilfried Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy boy.
Which is an interesting name for a Celtic manager. But he's I think that if he hits the ground running, then obviously that really makes things very interesting. At the top. I really hope Hearts don't fall away, and run into a bad spell at the moment. But I mean, it's been tight margins. It seems that way with the Aberdeen game, so I would like to see a tight race. Personally, as Rangers have certainly made up some good ground, but a wee bit fortunate, I think, with Hearts, dropping points at this moment, and Celtic, I think, they aren't looking their best, but it's understandable during a transitional kind of period. So, still picking up points, which is the main thing. So I don't know. I don't think we're necessarily in the race yet, but I don't think that. We're necessarily out of where we should be, which is maybe kind of pushing to second, So we're still on track for maybe grabbing that.
I mean, it's exciting. Hibs can even get in there just to finish the point. Hibs are on a good run as well. So I mean,
yeah, they are. They're steadier in comparison to Hearts, Rangers, Celtic, who have been very up and down. So yeah, sure they've dropped a point here and there, but they've stayed quite steady in that sort of top six space.
Yeah.
Whereas you're seeing sort of Aberdeen having a rough start, Dundee United sort of bobbing up and down, from 6th to 7th kind of thing. I think they were a wee bit further up than that. So, and well, obviously we'll come on to it, but Killie as well, going from a great start to a terrible run of form just now. So yeah, Hibs are more steadier. I think it shows that they're maybe there to go the distance, whereas the other clubs are slightly more volatile, so yeah, I wouldn't write them off. And Bowie's back on the score sheet as well.
Yeah, got to go. Just now Scotland will qualify for the World Cup. He's like, I better get myself together now.
Better pull my finger out. That's it.
Some goals, mate. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting season, which is good, and hopefully we'll have a tight top four.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do hope so. It makes it much more interesting.
Yeah.
I suppose moving on to our next wee section is about obviously managerial vacancies, and it's not necessarily a vacancy just now, we just kind of touched on it, but Killie, they're maybe looking hot favourites to maybe depart with their manager if this form continues. They had a pretty decent start, didn't they? And then I mean, it's been loss after loss after loss.
Six defeats in a row now for Killie. They had started really well. They were impressive. They were defending well. They were scoring goals. But yeah, now they've lost 6 in a row. It is worrying. I mean, it's still relatively tight, but it looks like there's a bit of a split happening between top 6 and bottom 6. So and 2 points off Livingston, who were unfortunate against Rangers, could have picked up a point. Dundee again, who randomly beat Celtic and they haven't won a game since. You worry that you could really be dragged into a battle with Dundee and Livingston. You can't imagine that St Mirren are going to be down there for too long. And Aberdeen and Dundee United have strong squads, so you worry it could be a battle between those three teams. I mean, I like Kettlewell. I think he's a good manager. I think he talks really well. I think he's had relative success at wherever he's been, Ross County and Motherwell. I think it's hard for Killie. Their squad is clearly on a budget. He likes to play a certain way, kind of similar to Robinson at St Mirren with the sort of 3-5-2, kind of get the ball quite direct to the big strikers. But I don't know. I mean, the thing for Killie is worrying that they're losing games at home. They've usually had a strong home record when they've got their pitch, which has kind of set them up for a decent record in the past. So if you're losing home games like that quite comfortably, it is worrying. I don't think they'll pull the trigger yet. I think certainly in Dundee's case, they've been quite
patient.
Patient's the word. Back in Presley. So I think you got to give them a chance. I mean, the question is who's out there really that you're going to bring in for Kilmarnock. A team with their budget, who clearly went from McInnes, who would have been on quite a lot of money, and they're clearly pumped for Kettlewell, who's a good young Scottish manager. I mean, where else can you go from there? I think you have to give him a chance to turn it around.
Mhm.
But I mean, you can't keep losing games. That's the thing. You have to eventually get some result.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, looking at their squad, it's not terrible, and you do have quite a lot of experienced players within the league. Whether it's starting 11 or on the bench. Even
Hmm.
looking at that kind of Motherwell game, there's obviously a lot of noise around David Watson. I think his contract is up at the end of the season, I believe. And so that's why he seems to be touted for a January move. Um, and that would be a big blow. But I mean, I don't actually think they've got a terrible team. I don't think they've got a lot of outstanding talent. That
Hmm.
that's that maybe in the same kind of category as David Watson. But at the same time, how many teams that are sort of bottom six do have that kind of outstanding talent? Really, so comparing it to a Dundee team, comparing it to a Livingston, there's a lot more sort of experienced heads in there. Your Marley Watkins, your Greg Kilties, um, your Rory McKenzie's, all these kind of boys that have been there and done it a while, and then you've got a bit of a mix of youth in there too. So I don't think it's awful, but I hear what you're saying just about who would you replace Kettlewell with. I think it was a risky appointment at the start, and it seemed to be off to a good start. But I don't know. Maybe is he slightly out of his depth? In the Prem, obviously given his history.
I know. It, it is worrying. I know the fans are a bit frustrated with him.
Hmm.
Um, but I think they've got better squads than Livingston and better squads than Kilmarnock. I think that's as far as you can really go with that. I don't think they're going to get any higher than 10th. I think that would have been their aim, really. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to stay in the league.
No.
You're seeing teams that are spending a lot of money. You're seeing teams with big budgets.
Hmm.
There's a lot of investment in Scottish football, so it's getting even harder every year to get in the top six. Um, there's only really one space up for grabs, you'd imagine, if you think about Hearts, Hibs, Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, you'd assume. So maybe two
Yeah.
spaces. Motherwell
Hmm.
looking good at the moment. Even Dundee United have, brought in a lot of players from across Europe and the world.
Yeah.
So Kilmarnock are shopping out of a different market than those clubs.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
they're looking at like lower leagues in England or players that have been out of contract in England or players from Scotland,
Mm.
like bringing them from lower leagues like Stanger at the back, came from
Hmm.
the Ayr. So
Hmm.
they're shopping in a different market, and their aim should be survival. There's nothing wrong with that. They were in the Championship a couple of years ago, so I mean, currently they're still 10th, so that's the aim.
Hmm.
Then they're at par, but you're lucky that you've got a Livingston team that just can't seem to get the breaks in the moment, and you've got a Dundee team that um, are really struggling as well. I mean, Dundee and Killie are fairly similar in terms of their signings. They're kind of
Yeah.
mixed bag of players from down south, loan players. But I mean, you're looking at their fixtures coming up. I think they've got tough games, Rangers and Hearts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not. It's going to be difficult. You've got Dundee United yet at home on the
Hmm.
29th, and then you go into December, which is mad. Um, they'll be away to Hearts, and
Hmm.
then home to
Yeah, it's
Rangers,
tough.
and then you get into the busy Christmas period. It could be a case. I mean, I don't know. I think don't let's just give them. Let's give these managers a chance to at least try something else and turn it around. It is frustrating when you see a manager that consistently plays the same sort of formation or that. Maybe if he needs to switch
Hmm.
things up a bit, um, try a different formation. Um, maybe if you don't really have the players, you can maybe move them about in certain ways. But I don't know.
Yeah.
They were claiming the league was tight because it was quite tight at the time when a lot of teams were drawing, so they were kind of
Yeah.
just hanging out mid-table. Now these teams that were drawing are winning games, and it's
Hmm.
clearly Kelly just aren't even drawing anymore; they're just getting beat every week. So
Yeah, that's the thing. I just obviously with that run of games that they've got coming up, it's testing. It's a really testing time for them. Um, you look at Dundee. They've claimed some big scalps. They got good result against Rangers. They got a good result against Celtic. Um, And yeah, sure, they've been very, very inconsistent. Otherwise, Livingston, I mean, just so unlucky, over the course of the season. Again, unlucky on the weekend there,
Yeah,
so
Martindale was seething. Did you hear his interview? Like, fair enough,
I'm not
man.
surprised, though. And that's the thing, yeah, I mean, we could get into a rant about refereeing decisions yet again, but the rules are the rules, and it's quite clear that, that was a penalty. So... but it's not the first time we've seen him have that, justified rant this season. So they have been really hard done by with certain decisions, and they've been on the bad end of results as a result of those sometimes. So I think they'll start to get a little bit of a run in the second half of the season. But if Kettlewell doesn't get some big results from these big games, over the next wee while, I do fear that, enough will be enough, because at the end of the day, they're going to be saying, well, should Killie really be struggling against a Dundee with Stephen Presley, ultimately, that's really it. And the answer is, I don't think so. No, they've enough experience in there to carry through, whereas I think Dundee have actually departed with, some valuable experience there, over the summer. So, an interesting one. We'll keep an eye on it and obviously see how things develop. But let's move on to the main event. What about Raith Rovers then? So still without a manager.
Breaking news this evening, mate. Apparently,
really?
Dougie Imrie is close to being appointed as Raith Rovers manager, according to sources, Fife newspapers. Yeah, compensation package of 5 figures being discussed. Wow. So Dougie Imrie could be on his way to Starks Park. Which I think is a good appointment for the Rovers. Quite an exciting step, I think, to go and to take a manager from your sort of direct rival. My mates were saying that Imrie had interviewed for the Thistle job in the summer, so clearly I think he's possibly felt he's taken Morton as far as he could, and we've maybe discussed that in the past, that he just couldn't quite get them into those playoffs. So he's got a real good chance if he does come to the Rovers with a bit more money. And I think he's a manager that certainly inspires his players. He certainly gets his players right up for it. They will battle for every ball. They will play for the jersey, and they'll really prove to the fans that they want it. I mean, that's what Imrie's all about. I think that's what his team are designed to be, hard to beat and to be sort of aggressive whilst, still playing some decent football. I mean, they had a good run of it last season. They'll say the season before that they had Muirhead, and they were close as well. So yeah, I think if that is the case, then I think that's just an exciting appointment for the Rovers.
Definitely.
I've never really seen us go and take someone from in a job, so clearly the board are dead set on it. Otherwise, they wouldn't part with the cash. I mean,
yeah,
I know you touted some names over the chat. Was it sort of the usual suspects, so to speak, and no one really thought of Imrie? So in that case,
yeah, he wasn't within those sort of top 4 or 5 names that seemed to be coming up as sort of bookies' favourites. I think there was like Kevin Thompson, John Kennedy. Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Thompson just doesn't want any job; he just keeps getting
exactly.
Every job.
So it's it was very, very run of the mill. But I mean, I think that would, if it comes through, that'd be a hell of an appointment. Just watching the football Morton played against Arbroath 2 weeks ago, it was really exciting. High press, real aggressive to get the ball back, and when they did have the ball, some really silky attacking moves. So doing that with a better budget, will be really interesting. Be interesting to see what happens in January for the Rovers as well, because maybe you want a little bit more of a mixture of some sort of young talent, I guess, that is maybe up to breaking into the starting 11 to try and sort of freshen things up a wee bit. But yeah, really, really interesting that would be. But do you think that would mean that Billy Davies takes control of the managerial job at Morton then, or what do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of Rovers, just quickly, I think Imrie is the type of manager to get the fans excited. I know the Robson did okay. He did really well at the end of last season, which is fine. Got to give him his credit. He almost got us in the playoffs. This season it got a bit stale. I think he was just afraid to take that next step, a gamble to try and win us a game. But I think Imrie will really get us on the front foot. It's what the fans wanted. That's how we built this sort of loyal fan base over the last few years. We got the crowds up again. The crowds were excited. Crowds this season started to get a bit fed up again. So to have a manager in that really gets the players going and gets us playing fast football is something that we kind of need. In terms of Morton, I think that would be the logical step. I don't know what money Davis is on. I'd imagine he'll be on a decent whack for whatever role he's got. I think. I mean, I know Davis is a bit of a divisive character. I think in the past he's certainly ruffled a few feathers in England. Whether he's still got it, I don't know. As a manager, we saw with Danny Lennon. Clearly, he had too long out of the game and just couldn't get things going with Airdrie. But it just depends how much influence Davis has had currently in the Morton team. As I say, don't see Morton with much money, so if they've got someone who's already on their books who can do the job, maybe they'll give him it till the end of the season, see how it goes. But yeah, it's interesting. The Championship, a little bit of managerial swapping, which is quite rare. You don't really see a manager getting taken from the same league.
No. I can't really remember the last time that happened. Certainly amongst a couple of the big names within the Championship too. So, I mean, on the Morton side, I actually think if Billy Davies stays in his role, I think Rhys McCabe might be actually a good shout. Young manager with a really good experienced head above him that knows how to help him sort of take that bit of a step up. That could be quite good. And also the style of football isn't miles away from what he was, wanting to sort of play at Airdrie as well. So that could be an interesting one. But I suppose if Dougie Imrie comes in then, for where you are just now, what would your ambitions be between now and the end of the season? Where would you want to be finishing?
Got to be looking at third, I think. Certainly. Thistle are looking really good. Obviously, they beat St Johnstone at the weekend, which is an incredible result. So you'd imagine those two will kind of slog it out for the title, and then it's fairly open after that. Dunfermline are looking good. Ayr looking good. I think it's open enough for us if we can get on a run. I think we put a really great run together last season. We can do the same again. The squad is decent. There is space for a few more players. I think another manager might, use the squad better than previously. I know Robson has his favourites. Some players never really got a look in, so hopefully the new manager can come in. It's a fresh slate for everyone, and we can really sort of give it a good go in the second half of the season. So, we're 19 points at the moment. Are both 23, Ayr 23, so third place is certainly within reach. Obviously, there's no way we're going to catch the top two, and I can't really see us slipping that far down the bottom. No. So I just hope that this appointment really sort of galvanises everyone and gets the fans on board and gets the players, really working hard. And the worry is the season sort of was one of those where you sort of win a game here and there, lose a couple, draw, win again, then you just sort of hang about in 6th and 7th, and then it's pretty dull. We've been used to some excitement the last few years, so that's what really got the fans on board, and that's what we want to keep going, try and get in the playoffs at least, and give us a chance of going up, mate, because it's a long old time.
Yeah, it has been. It would be good to get Raith Rovers back up there for sure. I mean,
just reconstruct the league. Yeah, reconstruct the league.
Yeah, just reconstruct it right now. That's it. Right now, Done. I suppose lastly on Imrie, because that was a really interesting bit of news there. Dougie Imrie is obviously the epitome of steady Eddie within the Championship. Obviously, I know Morton have not got the same budget as Raith Rovers. I know that they haven't had the same tools, I guess, to work with over the period of time that he's been there, and it's been a significant period of time. Do you think there is an element of it being a bit of a gamble that Raith Rovers become then a bit of a Championship steady Eddie? I mean, I know obviously you kind of already are in the sense that you've been in the Championship for a while, but do you feel it's enough of an exciting appointment to kind of advance the club forward and potentially get yourself in that third spot?
I think it is an exciting appointment. I think he's been lucky. I think he's worked well within tight budgets, and he's taken Morton, punching above their weight fair enough they didn't get in the Championship playoffs, but it's been an incredibly competitive Championship for the past few years. So to be there or thereabouts, and to be a couple of wins away, or a few goals here or there, it wasn't like they were nowhere near the playoffs. They were actually challenging for the playoffs, and they were never in danger of getting relegated. So this is the step up. That's a logical step for him. I think it's a logical step for the Rovers. Clearly, this guy knows how to get the best out of a team and have a bigger budget with some better players, bigger crowds. Is it potentially? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's a good appointment. When I saw it today, I was surprised. I really was surprised. I didn't think we would take someone from the league. I think he's an exciting young manager. He's got connections within the game. He knows the league. He knows how to win. And yeah, he's fucking not gonna take any shit. That's what you want. Like,
yeah,
he's a straight talker. No bullshit with Dougie Imrie. And you forget this guy was a class player when he was around. Like, he was a silky player. Like, he was great. So I think he knows how to get the best out of his attackers. Obviously, he's got this reputation for being his team to being quite direct. But as you say, they do play fast football, and that's what you want. And your tippy tappy nonsense, get it forward. Let's get some attacking, playing. We use the ball in the opposition half. So he's going to do that for the Rovers. I'm confident if he's appointed that we will get in the playoffs.
Brilliant. That's a big old statement to wrap that bit up there. But I agree with you. Totally agree with you. I really hope it works out. I hope we get the announcement soon.
Yeah.
In a world where sponsorship is more accessible than ever, that world exists at sportsponsorship.co.uk. Whether you're interested in making a difference to your local community or further afield, or perhaps you're looking for access to tens of thousands of followers online to push your brand further than ever, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk. That's sportsponsorship.co.uk.
Right, so before we move on to our quiz, be sure again to give us a wee like or subscribe. It helps spread the word a wee bit further. Our quiz, as always, is sponsored by Nooch. I'm a meat eater, and I won't lie, the thought of going to a vegan restaurant makes me want to plan a McDonald's trip on the way home. However, Nooch isn't just a good vegan restaurant, it's a brilliant restaurant. Great grub, great atmosphere, ideal for all occasions. If you haven't tried it, get on down and tell them we sent you. Tell them that Matthew said free buns for Tinpot listeners. But
the buns are class, mate. Honestly, I don't know where he gets these buns or what they're made of, but they're the softest buns I've ever had in my mouth, mate. And I've had some soft buns.
I bet you have. Dirty dog. Right, so this quiz, I kind of alluded to it earlier on. You are Tinpot's championship connoisseur, so there's 10 points up for grabs in this quiz. 2 points per answer, so 5 questions. Quick maths there. All you have to do is name the scorer from last weekend's championship fixtures. Now, we don't need every scorer. We just need one scorer per match. Doesn't matter if it's home or away team. It doesn't matter at all. If there was no score, as in there was a 0-0, you just have to say no scorer. I'll give you a clue that one of the 4 matches had no score, but you probably already know that. But yeah, just need the surname of a scorer for any of the games. So first game we've got is Airdrieonians versus Ayr.
I know it was 1-0, I think. I don't know who scored, mate. I'm telling you something for a fact, mate. I had a busy weekend, so I was entertaining the Polish in-laws, mate. So I was giving them a tour of Dunfermline, so I didn't really have much time. But I'm going to go for Walker.
Oh, no. Good shout. It was Mark McKenzie.
Another one, yeah.
Yeah, from Ayr United. Had a man sent off on the weekend, but still managed to get themselves a good result. That's it. So, on 0 points, unfortunately, Matthew. But on to the next one, which I'm sure you'll manage to get no bother. Arbroath versus Raith Rovers.
'Twas a goalless draw.
It was a goalless draw.
Still won at that.
Yes. That's it. A good 2 points in the,
Raith
the
happy
back of the net for that
to
one.
get a clean sheet and get out of Arbroath, I think.
Yeah,
by the sound of
definitely.
things.
It's a tough place to go, to
I
be
know.
fair, but especially when you're without a manager, then yeah, it's just get something out of it and
Yeah,
get
I think
out of
after the grubbing, the fucking gubbing we got last week, I think Hanlon was happy just to keep it a bit tight. So decent point away from home. We've not really got a mixed record at Arbroath, so yeah, happy to get the draw.
there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're having a good season this season,
Yeah.
so fair point that one. Right, 2 points on the scoreboard.
Come on.
Next game we've got rivals Dunfermline versus probably your next rivals Morton.
I actually saw this go on Instagram today. It was Gilmore.
Yes, Charlie Gilmore. That's right. Yeah, it was 1-0. He was the only scorer.
Good goal.
But yeah,
They're on a good run.
interesting, They are on a much better run now. So
Really exciting team they've got. Like that Andy Todd
Yeah.
signed a new contract. He looks really good.
yeah,
Lennon
yeah,
is.
he's quite young still, isn't he?
Yeah,
Andy
he's really
Todd?
young. He's
Yeah.
been playing for a couple of years. But Lennon, that's the good thing about Lennon. Like he just
Mm-hmm.
he plays the young players. Like he's not afraid. If you're good enough,
Yeah.
then Lennon's going to give you a game. I really like Lennon. Like he's obviously got his haters, but the guy is a consistently good manager in Scotland. So
He's
pains me
brilliant.
to say
Yeah.
it, but they're looking good for a playoff spot. But we'll see how it goes.
They are, yeah. It'll be interesting to see again maybe what they do in January. But yeah, Lennon is, well, no offense, but he is better than the Championship. So it shows that Dunfermline must have pretty serious ambitions to get
Yeah.
back up. So yeah, no, well deserved 3 points there for Lenny, and that takes you up to 4 points now.
Yes.
On to the top two, Partick Thistle versus St Johnstone. So there was 3 scorers in this one. Can you name one of them?
I think the first goal scorer for Thistle was O'Reilly.
Oh, yes. Well done.
Big centre half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did Fotheringham score for St Johnstone? Did I see that?
He
Was it
did
him?
not. No,
No,
he
he
did
was
not.
scored.
It was Josh McPake.
McPake,
I
that's
believe.
it, I get him confused.
Yeah. And Tony Watt scored the other
Tony
goal
Watt.
for Partick Thistle
That's
as well.
some result, man.
Yeah, that's a hell of a
Bouncing,
result.
eh? Like it was a
Yeah,
big crowd. Great
hell of a
result.
result. Really, really good result. So that takes you up to 6 points. So let's have a butcher's here. Have I fucked this up?
There's one more game though. Oh no, there was only 4 games because
Oh, no,
the
Kirkcaldy.
Ross County Queen's Park game was postponed.
I do have one more question for you. That's
Okay.
all right. I had that up my sleeve. So
There you
who
go.
is currently the
Okay.
Championship's top scorer as it stands this season?
Ooh, the Championship's renowned for low-scoring top goal scorers. I know McPake's up there. Who else is doing it? Ronan Hale scored a few for County, maybe not enough. You've got Tony Watt as well, who's got a few goals. I'm going to go McPake.
Ronan Hale scored quite a few goals though, eh? He scored 7 goals, I think it was.
Is he?
Josh McPake has scored 10. So you've
Is he
got
actually?
the top scorer. And that takes you to 8 out of 10, mate. That's pretty
Nice.
fucking good for the old solo quiz. Well done.
That was mental about the Queen's Park Ross County game being postponed like 15 minutes before.
Yeah,
Heck
I don't
off,
know.
like-
I really don't understand how that happens. Like, you
The pitch
do a
is
pitch
frozen,
inspection.
but it's going to melt. It's going to like defrost, but the temperature's not scheduled to get any warmer, so just like
Yeah,
Let them
exactly. You
drive
do
all
a
the way
pitch
down.
inspection like in the early afternoon. Sometimes they do it in the late morning.
and then check the
And
forecast.
then, you check the forecast. 9 times out of 10, it's going to get colder as the day goes on, as you
Yeah.
said. So, how the fuck do you... I mean, I felt really bad for those county fans, but hell of a way to go as well. I mean, fucking
I know.
Christ. I don't think they could have went... Well, they could have went a wee bit further, I guess, if they had air or something like
Incompetence,
that,
man.
but-
Who the fuck was the referee? It was like, did he? What's
Oh,
going
it's
on?
terrible. Absolutely terrible. But maybe a blessing in disguise. County are not exactly on the best of form at the moment.
Yeah,
So
speaking of managers, like they're going to stick with Doc though, right? But he's really struggling to get him on a run of form. Like it's been strange.
I think the patience there, might have to run out at some point. Just because of the stature of the club and the history of it being in the Prem and the ambitions.
Wages they're paying, you'd imagine,
Exactly. There's some big players in there. Some of them maybe should maybe have been kind of brought in as players to level the dressing room a little bit, but maybe not start every week. But yeah, interesting. He's under a lot of pressure. I really thought the duo of him and Davidson would be just absolute dynamite, but it really hasn't turned out that way. So yeah, interesting one. Interesting. Anyway, that's us for this week. Managed to wrap it up with less than an hour, less than 45 minutes. So that's a massive achievement for us. Remember, like, share, subscribe, folks. Get those numbers up for us. Means a lot. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Matthew.
Cheers, Andrew. Thanks for hosting, mate. Well done.
Thank you, Andrew, for coming as well.
Cheers.
And
thanks, Tam.
hopefully we'll see Tam next time. Yeah, take care, Tam. Get well soon.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.